best in the world, baby.
Morning, all of my people out there. You are with your boy Sonwa Boteta, aka the best in the world, and welcome to the Best in the World podcast. And today, man, I have to tell you, I'm so honored to have this guy here. I've been meaning to interview him since February, if I'm not mistaken. This fellow's an events
Yeah,
organizer, he is a DJ, and he is a remixer of some of your favorite classic house songs. He has worked with the likes of Prince KB. He has DJed at institutions such as YFM and Kozi FM. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Silva with two V's and an A.
yeah. What's up, people? To your boy Silva. As Sona was said, I'm a DJ, producer, remixer, sound engineer, and an event organizer. So yeah, man.
Right, bro. Before you go into intricate detail, I would just like to ask you, what are your thoughts, man, on the state of the country and how it's been portrayed to the international audience and as well to the local audience with all the riots and the looting and the violence?
Yeah, it's insane, bro. So to be honest, it's not really good for anyone. Because the country is already in a bad state with COVID already, and now the looting and unrest just makes everything worse.
Yeah,
Because as we speak, like the inflation is hitting us really hard, and the shortage of stuff. So it's really in a bad state,
yeah,
and in an international audience, obviously, I think it is like that impact whereby people don't take us serious per se. I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I feel.
yeah,
And obviously, with a local audience, I wouldn't say much, but what I know is that people are affected by this, because people have to run around like looking for basic needs like that. So it's really insane.
Hey, it's crazy, man. But we just hope for better days. So, how has lockdown affected you and your craft? How has it affected you from last year all the way till now?
It has its pros and cons now, because I will start with the disadvantages of it. The disadvantages of it is that you make music, but you can't really play it for the people in a larger audience or in a live audience. You just have to like do the live set, in which I feel like you need to see the reaction from the crowd for the music, and obviously financial, like it's hard because you no longer be able to buy more studio equipment or invest in your craft. The little you get is it just goes to like the basic needs, like you have to pay bills, and you have to buy food. So financially, and limitation in terms of seeing how the music or is received out there,
Mm,
And the advantages is that you get to sit at home and make a lot of music, explore ideas. Um, what else did I do? What was interesting during lockdown? Oh yeah, because I had to go deeper into the music business side of it,
mhm.
rather than just making music. So during lockdown, I was able to at least divert some of my time to like learning more on how to run a label, because I wanna like start a label whereby I just do what I want. And like where I have to submit demos to the record label, like, no, this is not good for catalogs. I wanna do like, when I say this cause, So I will say business side of it, I developed, and even the craft side of it, I
Yeah,
developed as well.
you spend more time on your craft, so you're cooking in the studio basically,
Yeah, yeah, throughout, throughout.
right? You're also known as a DJ, right? And I've heard some of your mixes, which are very, very good, I must say. I like your transitions from one song to the next, especially your beat counting. It's very superb. How did you get into the world of music? How did that all start for you?
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. So a funny story, because I was just a football player.
Oh, really? What position did you play?
Yeah, I played center back and right back. I was basically a defender. So
Okay.
yeah, for all of my life I was playing football. And 2016 I was doing my matric. So when I finished my matric, my mom was like, "Yo, bro, you need to do something like I don't know, but you need to go and study."
Yeah.
Uh, that's when I realized that age wasn't on my side. Like, you know, good at and the retirement is looming, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when like the second love was music, because as much as I was a football player, all I could do is listen to music, you know. So yeah, I then went to study sound engineering,
Okay.
Dublin in college. So yeah, there that's why I go to go deeper with this music production and DJing thing. But the funny story now is that when I went there, obviously I thought sound engineering is production and DJ. And when I got there, it was a totally different thing. It was much more of a live sounds, technical side of music,
Actually learning the
basically.
craft, ne? From
So,
how
but
it's
yeah, no,
done, where it
I
comes
guess
from.
yeah, learning the craft. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, in terms of music, house
So it
music in
was
particular,
totally different thing from what I
yeah.
yeah.
In terms of house music in particular, who were your influences in terms of house music? People out there in the industry, who influenced you and who was one of your idols?
From then until now, or just from back then, because
From your
they actually
career,
have evolved.
from your musical career, people who influenced you while you were in it.
From when I started, I used to listen to guys like Cairo a lot,
Okay,
Black Motion,
those guys are legends, man.
Ino Napal. Yeah, yeah. I used to listen to those guys a lot. But obviously, in the DJing side was Black Coffee. I wasn't really much more of a fan of a deep house, but I loved how he DJs and his DJing skill. That's why you were saying you usually picked it up that my mixing skill and my transition, because I used to like watch that guy for quite some time.
Mm,
Then I think it evolved. If you basically keeping up with my music from when I started releasing music
yeah,
officially until now, you can tell that it has evolved. Even though it still has like those elements, but it has evolved because I felt like I needed to be me rather than trying to be those guys in a way, you know. So yeah, it evolved. So recently, I'll say the guy I can say I look up to is the guys who are in the melodic scene, honestly, you know. So
what's
I've
the melodic
been
scene, if you can describe it?
oh yeah, in the melodic scene, so I'm basically talking about the guys who are doing techno melodic or melodic techno. So
Hmm.
they're basically guys from abroad. That's when I realized that I have love for instrument and melodies, like weird sound, basically. You know, so we start music that is up tempo. Sometimes find it down tempo, but then she's like unusual and weird sounds. You know, that's
Yeah,
like melodic techno, and it's much more driven by heads instead of the drums. Like the heads are the leading drums, basically.
good. Okay, I actually saw the the emergence, and I don't want to say downfall, but the decline of in terms of the musical scene, because I used to play it so many times back while I was working on community radio,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was naive and I had the same perception about Amapiano because it was a cult following, and I would feel that it would fizzle out, but time and time again, it always seems to prove me wrong. So I want to ask you, how do you feel about Amapiano as a commercial type of dance music?
Honestly, I wouldn't take anything out of it. Uh,
Hmm.
it's good music. Well, I believe it is like its own target market, and it would be much more better if we had writers, you know, like people who write properly lyrics, because it's actually clean beats. which it really needs like dope lyrics, then sorry, it's a really good genre for its target market, you know. But for me personally, I wouldn't go that route because I always try as much as I can to do something that makes me happy, you know. Uh, Something that is unique to me. So yeah.
Do you have any critiques about it? Do you feel like sometimes it's oversaturated or being overused, or what critique would you give to it, to the whole Amapiano sound?
I wouldn't criticize to that extent. The only issue I would have is obviously vocals, because you think about it, it's the most dominant genre at the moment in the country. So a lot of kids, like growing or upcoming kids, they listen to it and they do want to be inspired, you know. But then the inspiration they get now is a bit, you know, uncertain, like with the future, because you find like 8-year-old singing all those lyrics, and you know basically that those lyrics,
yeah,
you know,
it has questionable lyrics, you know, and people should be
yeah,
careful what they put out there. You know some of the songs that are out there.
yeah, and obviously one last thing, the use of log drum. Obviously the
Now
guys
the log
like
drum is
Gabs,
highly used.
yeah, you know, that's why the guys like Gabs are Maporisa and Mass Music, they really use it well, you know. Like I don't know if it's how they mix it or how they do it, but it doesn't end up overpowering the whole song. Like everything just sits well together or blend well together, you know. So just those two, vocals and log drum.
The log drum. Ah, that's nice. It's also a nice genre. So in terms of deep house, what's your favorite taste? Because there are multiple tastes. You get your deep tech, you get your tribal, you get your underground house. What's your favorite flavor in terms of deep house?
Damn. Things with deep house is very broad.
It's broad, I
Like
know.
you have mentioned it.
Okay, must we
But
come
from
back
the
to that
list,
question? You want to think about it still?
no, not really, because I know what's my favorite. Just that
Yeah.
I don't know if the likes of progressive house are still categorized under that. But then from what you said, I would go with underground.
Underground.
Yeah, guys are really dope. The efforts, the amount, the uniqueness is really crazy there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. How did you start, or how's your relationship with Prince KB? How did you guys link up, and how did you guys start working together?
Well, we cool. From the music side, we cool. So there is a song of mine which I did. I was actually doing a remix for these guys in Kenya, but it was an unofficial remix. Obviously, at that time I was coming in the scene. I didn't know anyone. I didn't approach anyone. I just said the vocals and I wanted to do a remix. You know? So I did a remix. Then the song was heard by Lebza Villain from YFM.
Shout out to
I
Libs of
don't
the
know where
Villain,
he
man.
heard.
He's a great guy. Shout out Libs of the
Yeah,
Villain.
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
A really great guy. I don't know where he heard it, but he hit me up on Facebook. You know, like he actually posted a clip and on a post on Facebook, like asking if anyone knows this guy, because at the time no one knew me. You know, so he hit me up. Then we spoke. I gave him the instrumental. He played it on YFM. Then on YFM, remember a guy who was the show, it's Sabta. Sabta also like, yo, the song is crazy, man. Can you hook me up? Then I gave him the song. Then after that, apparently Sabta and KB are quite close friends. So it happened that they exchange, I think, music, in which is a good thing because it exposed me to KB now.
Yeah.
So he gave him the music, then KB went crazy, hit me up on Instagram, like, yo, boy, that's all, you know, stop. Then he asked, start sending him some song. Then I started sending him some song. And there's this time I remember when I was going to Kenya. That's when we started to work. I was going to Kenya. I think it was around 1 a.m. when he texted, like, yo, boy, tomorrow I'm going to Kenya. Do you have some new music there? That was then later 2019, because this song we've been working for quite some time now. So I was like, yo, okay, cool. I'll look you up in the morning. I sent him stuff in the morning. Then later on, he went through the folder. Then like Liberation, that's when the song he picked it up. Like, yo, boy, I would like us to work on this song specifically.
Yeah.
Then obviously I had to wait for him to come back. Then we started working. The rest is history, man. That's the history.
So which moment made you feel as if this is the right thing for me? Which moment did you feel like I should stick in this whole DJing thing? What moment did you feel like you made it?
I don't know if it should be about the money, but
money makes the world go round, man. We need the bread. We need the bread, bro.
Yeah. So I think let me try to think back. I'm not so sure of the year, if it was 2018, later 2018. So there's this record label in Dubai. So they hit me up. They're like, yo, wanna sign in music? So I was like, okay, cool. Obviously I was just doing music, not even thinking about the outcome, because at that time you're just studying, you wanna be a sound engineer, you wanna get your certificates and maybe find work, but you're also doing production. So they were like, wanna start my work? Fine. I send them the work, then they send me the contract. Then they were like, on the contract it stipulates there that you will send us pre-master of the songs after we've sent you an advance payment. I'm like, what? So this means I can pay my bill with this.
Yeah.
Then now I'm checking the amount they sent. Bro, it was insane. It was insane.
It's a few zeros.
Bro, it's a few zeros. I'm like, okay, I can live with this.
Yeah.
I can live with this. I can basically take it still as like a craft now. That's when I felt like this is a craft now.
Yeah.
Otherwise you couldn't be more inspired. Like if we are being honest, you have your bills, not even having bills, because at that time you don't really have bills, still living with your parents. Most everything you get, your parents buy you. But when you start buying stuff for yourself, which something you do from March, you realize this is the thing, man.
It's awesome feeling, man, being independent.
Yes, awesome feeling. Being independent, okay, I can live with this thing. I should just take it serious and put more energy, put more consistency, more hard work into it. So, yeah.
And I can see that throughout your career, your hard work has been paid off. For instance, like you said, a record label in Dubai wanting to sign you, having inboxes and DMs from the likes of Lebza the Villain and Prince KB. How do you keep your humility? How do you stay humble throughout all of these processes? Because a lot of people could have been big-headed. How do you keep your humbleness?
Oh yeah, bro, this thing is simple for me, because from my football or soccer days, I had moments like these whereby I would go to Cape Town, and there was a time when I was supposed to go to Europe. And unfortunately, I couldn't go, because at the time it was a matter of football or school. Then like choose wise, football is a short-term thing. So I've always said that thing, that I'm inspired. I'm driven by to be great. So in a way, whatever that comes to me, I don't really take it out to other people, because I know it's bound to happen and it's meant to happen. So as much as I can get the most, like as much as I can have sit down with KV or whoever, get the DMs from them, I still maintain the same energy to the people I'm always with every day.
Yeah.
In that way, I'm able to differentiate between fame and your people, because they're like people who are like, when they're famous, they now like want to change everything they do. They leave their friends they had because of the status. Obviously, I haven't been like that's haven't been the thing for me. So that's how I've been able to keep up with everything. Like that's in me actually.
And what motivated you not to give up? Because one of the hardest industries in life is music. Music is so hard. There's so many pieces that have to come together. What motivated you never to give up?
That's a good question, bro. Because I always wanna make people like not to give up on their dreams because of the given time they with at a particular time. But obviously now we're talking about me. For me, it's been the fact that as I've been working, obviously, like after working on a project, you want the world to hear it, you know. And you obviously have a couple of emails lined up that I would give this 1, 2, 3, this project for distribution, you know, or for a release deal. Then you send, oh, you get a response, you know, like, yo, we like this. Then you see that you don't really have to give up in this. This thing is building, this thing is growing, you know. Then obviously you check the numbers or the responses. For me, it was mainly the responses for my music. It was mainly abroad, which is where, to be honest, everyone wanna play because the scene, the music scene there is crazy. You know? So receiving the love from that scene made me to like, yo, you have to keep on going to like get there, you know. So there's no room for giving up with the love I get. Because I recently dropped, not even dropped, I recently did a mix for my label in which.
So which label? Which label are you under? Who are you signed to, or what are you signed to?
I'm independent. I'm not really
Independent.
signed. So what I do, I just get release deals, you know. So yeah, I recently did the mix for my label. Last week I did it last weekend. It was out on Friday last week. So I'm getting a lot of DMs, which I'm like, this is the right thing to do. You know, like I did well by not even thinking of giving up, just keep on moving because everything is building, man. Everything is building.
All right, Silvva, thank you so much for joining us. But before we go, would you tell me what are you working on? What can people look forward to in terms of Silvva for the rest of 2021 and 2022? What can you look forward to?
For the ones who have been following my page, they already know. But for the ones who haven't been, you can get to know what I've been up to, what I've been doing, and what I'm going to do throughout the rest of the year 2021 and upcoming years. So, like as I've been mentioning, I'm working on my label. Basically, I stopped releasing music. I think the last month was April. If not mistaken. So I haven't released anything after that, and it's not in me to like check that long without releasing music. But because I've been working on some certain stuff on my label, like setting up my label, the content for my label, working on music for my label. So what I've been doing is I have vocal tracks which I worked on quite some time. So I'm bringing them into a modern way, in a way, you know. Then I have remixes from friends, like 2 remixes from friends to accompany or cater for different audience. Also, the reason why I'm going with 2 remixers is because I don't want to end up overwhelming the receiver. You know?
Yeah.
So basically, the whole idea going forward is having a vocal song and 2 remixes. You know, yeah, like as soon as my label is set up, we'll start releasing music. Probably next month, from next month, we could be releasing music, man. And the goal going forward is just releasing music because, as you can see, the clubbing scene is a bit shaky. So the whole goal now is to release music, you know, hoping that by the time this whole thing ends, you know, we're in a better space of getting all these gigs. So yeah, man.
All right, Silvva, thank you so much for joining us, man. Where can we follow you? Where are you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? How can people get in contact with you?
On Instagram, it's Silvva@Silvva_SA. On Facebook, that's Silvva, just Silvva. On Twitter, it's @SilvvaSA. Yeah, and all other platforms, the streaming platforms, just Silvva. And yeah, thanks for having me a lot, man. I appreciate
All right, no man, the pleasure's all mine, man. Thank you so much for being patient. You know, we had to hustle. That's why this thing took a long time. But I wish you nothing but success. You know, what you're doing is great. You're showing young black kids out there that it's possible and it can be done. So thank you so much for joining us on the Best in the World podcast.
No, thank you a lot, bro. Thank you a lot. And wish you the best with what you do, man. We appreciate these kind of platforms for the voice.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Sure, sure.
Sure.
It's the best in the world, baby.